Hello, hello. Lisa Williams here, your Moxie Maven. Today I'm talking about forms and creating an inquiry form and how to map and use custom fields. Just a real brief introduction to that as I show you how to create an inquiry form. And then I'm going to take a peek at a couple other forms for different use case scenarios. So let's go dig into forms. So to get to the form builder, over on the left-hand side, you have forms. And when you click on that, you'll see form builder. So that's where I am right now in the form builder. So you can see I have several different categories of forms. And these forms, just go like this here. This was I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. This is a template. So these are the ones that I have. So I numbered my forms or my categories so that I could get to them easier, so that they're a little more organized for me. And the way you do that is when you have a form open, you'll see up in the top corner, right hand corner, you'll see where you have the folder that it's in. Typically, you'll have the two dashes. If you haven't done any of this already, you will see the two dashes, which is a folder. And as soon as you add other folders and move everything out of that, that will disappear off of your main screen here. So to add a new form, when you click on add form, you can add a new, just a blank form, or you can use the assistant if you have the AI add-on, or you can search the template library and you'll see various categories that when you click on them, you'll be able to see all of the forms within that category. So I would encourage you, if you're creating forms from scratch and just need to get an idea of what some of them look like, go into the category that best suits you and take a look at a couple of them. You can always delete them. So you could go in and edit these, but I'm going to show you a couple of our forms. So this discovery call inquiry questions is our initial form. So if I click on it, this is the form that we have for when someone's on our website and wants to inquire about a web design project. So if I pop over here on our website design inquiry, this is our website. And I am logged in, so I've got all my stuff up here at the top. But this is what they do first. So they're actually going to schedule a call. So I would schedule it. And then this is where the form is. So the form is embedded into the scheduler. So how I did that is you got to create the form first, and then you'll go create the meeting scheduler and add this form to it. So I'll give you a peek at that in a minute. But over here on the left-hand side, you have all of your elements and some content and then a few layout options. So this is a pretty standard form. It's just pretty, it's vanilla. I like to say a lot of our stuff is pretty basic. No bling, no flair, no fancy things going on. So if that's your jam, more power to you. So however you want to do it, however you want to lay it out. But since this form is being embedded into the scheduler, it's just very simple. So, first name, last name, business email, of course, these type of fields that you're going to get from people, this type of information has default mapping. So over here on the left-hand side, you will see this mapping drop down. These are the default mapping fields for Moxie. So these are your typical kind of CRM mapping. Okay. So when I have the first name, I want to make sure that I'm mapping it to the first name. Same with the last name over here. I want to map it to the last name. Same with the email address, the business email address. I want to map it to the email. Well, you'll notice right above here on this one, I do have a mapping key. So I'm going to use that mapping key in some other places. And I know it's the same, but this mapping key is the default that goes to the client dashboard. It's not the same as the mapping key that is right here that I fill in my information that I want. So I fill in a mapping key, make sure that it's you have a uniformity to your mapping keys so that when you go to use them in different places as custom fields, you'll be able to tell what they are, and they're all the same. So I always capitalize the first letter of every word and they're just right together. So let me show you that one. So an example of that. So this next one is a start date that I would like to know when they would like to start. So this one is a date field. So let me just go click done. This one is the date form input. So uh, this one, I have start date as the mapping key. So this is an actual custom field that I have so that when they fill this date out, it's going to show up on the opportunity. So this custom field is for my opportunity, and I have a tutorial on here on custom fields and mapping. So I'll link that in the description. But excuse me, the start date, you can see I have start capital and then date capital. They're both together. So I do that so I know what it is for one, and it's just all uniform for me. So that date is going to populate on the opportunity. So I know just by looking at the opportunity itself that it's their start date when they would like to start. Okay. So you go through and you're just pulling over different form inputs depending on what you need. And then this piece here, this little kind of flow chart looks like is conditional logic. So do you currently have a website? I have the mapping key website because I may want to use that in other places, but it's mainly for my conditional logic. So I know exactly which field I need to target. So this here, what is the URL of your website? You'll see this conditional logic and I've turned it on, and then I have the field will show up all of these conditions are true, and it's if this website right here. So you can see I have these three questions. I have this one that doesn't have a mapping key at all, but I have these email, start date, and website. I want website to be yes. Okay, so I continue to do that, and all of these will show up if the website answer is yes. Because if they have a website already, I want to know the URL. I want to know what they like or why they're reaching out. If they already have a website, why they're reaching out. A current blog. Do you have e-commerce? Okay, I just want to know that right off the bat before I get on a discovery call with them. And then, how did you hear about us? Is Moxie has a lead source default. Okay. I also have this as a mapping key because I may want to use this in different places. Again, this default one only shows up. It's a default, so it only shows up in the client area. Okay. So if you want to use this in other places, then you've got to create a mapping key for it. So anyway, so I go down, the multiple choice is the single option. So they only choose one of these. And then down here, I have where they have the checkbox where they can choose multiple. Okay. So again, back to the website, they go to schedule the call and then they go, and if I click yes, you can see where those pop down. If I click no, then I just keep going. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So they're going to schedule their call and complete this inquiry form at the same time. So if I go over here into the settings, there is nothing set over here. And the reason that there's nothing sent over set up over here in the settings is because I am taking care of that with the meeting scheduler because they're combined together. Okay, so if this is your form and this is what they're doing on your website to inquire about your service, you're going to want to choose a confirmation email template. So you just click here and you'll get all of your email templates. And some of these are not named the way I am beginning to name them now, but you'll see some of these have these brackets. And I recommend, I just haven't went back to rename all of my email templates yet, but I recommend having some kind of bracketed system so that in your email templates and forms, what have you, but especially email templates, because we tend to have a lot of email templates for all the things, right? Email templates are used everywhere in Moxie. So it's important to have that laid out to where you're not having to hunt down. Okay. So, anyways, and then an a confirmation email template, and you would want this form to be added to a pipeline stage, which would then create a new opportunity for you. Again, this is taken care of in the meeting scheduler for us. but let me show you one that is in and of itself. So this roadmap inquiry questionnaire. So let me just show you. That's this service right here. This roadmap is a service for us. And so Get Started takes them to this inquiry form that we're looking at right now. So when they complete this inquiry form and submit it on our website, okay, it is this form right here that we're looking at. So again, you just pull over your inputs, your if you need to uh, add some content in, and if you want to arrange your layout a little bit, that's what you do. Pull everything over, map how you need to. Again, this one, there's no mapping key here. This one, first name, last name, you just want to make sure that on your basic information that you're mapping to this drop down area here. Okay. So right here is the form. Now over in the settings for this one, you can see that I do have an email template that's going to be sent out as soon as they submit this form. It's a confirmation email. And I also have it added to the pipeline stage for roadmap inquiry, which is a new opportunity. So as soon as this form is submitted, I will have a new opportunity and they will get an email confirmation. Okay, that's all right here in the form itself. Okay, so let me bounce over to meetings and show you our meeting scheduler for the discovery call. So this is the meeting scheduler we were just looking at right here. Okay, this is the meeting scheduler. And you go through your your overview right here at the bottom. This is my pipeline stage. So this, the meeting scheduler, when they schedule that call, that is what is going to trigger this new opportunity to be created. The form is a part of that. Okay, so I don't need any of those settings in the form itself because the form is part of the meeting scheduler. The meeting scheduler is the main action that they're taking. So this will add a new meeting to my pipeline, which this, or I'm it's not a new meeting to my pipeline. I'm adding the meeting to a stage. So this is the stage that creates the new opportunity. And then my confirmation and reminder area of my scheduler. So I have an email confirmation reminder. I'm sorry, this is the reminder email, and then here is my email confirmation. So for scheduling the call and completing the form, I have an email created specifically for that inquiry that I'm now plugging in, plugging into here. Okay, so all of my automation is not in a workflow automation, but the automation to create the opportunity and to send the confirmation email is dealt with in the meeting scheduler. Again, if you have a form by itself, you deal with it there. If you're new to Moxie and you don't have a lot of things set up yet, I would not even touch workflow automations. I do have a tutorial here on my channel about workflow automations, but my best pro tip I can give you is to get this set up and do what you get your ducks in a row and get things set up kind of manually, with the exception of these email confirmations and things, before you start to plug into a workflow automation. Okay, so let me go back to forms, and then form builder. Okay. So these are some different forms that we have. Now, this web design project form, here's a strategy questionnaire in my project category, my web design project category. And again, here's your folder at the top. I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but this folder, if I click on it, I can move it to another folder that I have, or I can create a new one. Okay. And these folders are like more like tags work. Okay. So this one is in the web design project folder. So this one you can see I have a little bit more flair to it. This is the strategy questionnaire. It's a little longer. It's after they've already signed and submitted their agreement. They are going to complete this so that I have a good understanding of their business before we have our kickoff call. So that is this form here. There are no, there's no settings here. I don't have a confirmation email. You don't ever want to submit to the pipeline if you're in the middle of a project unless you do it in a workflow automation. in which the strategy questionnaire is part of a larger workflow automation that I have set up so that once they sign and submit their agreement and pay their deposit for their project, they are sent an email to then complete the strategy questionnaire. And that is how it's set up. So I don't need anything in this form itself. Okay. Um, and then these are other forms that I have. So a support ticket request, you can have many types of support tickets. If you're setting up your ticketing feature, you can have different types of support. We have our Karen support plan request. And in the settings, I have a confirmation email that goes out because they can get to this support, they can submit this form right from their client portal or from our website. There's a hidden page on our website. They can do it from there, but most do it from their client portal. And upon submitting this ticket request, it is going to create this type of ticket. So you can have multiple types of tickets. Uh, and we only have the one, but if you click here, you'll see if you have more than one type of ticket, you can choose which ticket this form will create. Okay, so that's another way you can use forms for ticketing requests. And I have let me see, a feedback form, we've got that. The settings, there's no settings here. Again, this is taken care of in a separate workflow automation, but you have different ways to use forms. So let me go back to show you just real quick this discovery call questionnaire and this start date. Okay, the start date mapping key. Let's just take a look at that for a minute. So this start date is mapped, but where is it going to show up? So very quickly, if you go to custom fields, this one is going to show up on the opportunity. So when I click on opportunity, you will see I've titled it proposed start date, and here is my field and the mapping key. Sorry, this is the mapping key, the same exact mapping key that I used on the other form, on the form itself, or any form. It doesn't. You can have this on multiple forms, but this will show on the opportunity itself. Okay. Again, I have another tutorial that goes deeper into this, but that's how your form and these custom fields and mapping keys connect. Okay. It has to be the same exact mapping key. So back in the form builder, this is another one, a little more fancier, but the settings here, this is an email that gets sent off as soon as they complete this. Here's a confirmation email. This is the email template that I have, okay, that goes along with this form. So they're going to schedule a 90-minute kickoff call. This is that separate project that we have on our website right here. After they inquire, okay, after they inquire about it and we have a little talk, then I'm sending them this workbook and they're going to complete this workbook. Okay. So a lot of different ways you can use forms, organizing your forms, using custom fields in forms, and just, making them work for you. I have a tutorial on here, how I collect content from a website content form. How do I collect my content? So check out that tutorial. And when they're completing something that's a little longer like this, just know that they can save it and they can close out and come back to it and it will save their information. But this you can see has some page breaks in it. It's a little longer because I'm collecting the content. And again, over here in the settings, nothing's here. I actually send this email out. I have an email template to complete this form, but I actually send this out manually because not every client needs it. So this is not in my workflow automation. So if I pop over here real quick to um, email templates, you can see here is the email confirmation that goes out when they schedule. Oh, that's the reminder. Sorry about that. Here's the confirmation that goes out when they schedule their call with us and when they fill out that form. Okay, a little bit about us. And then the reminders are done through the scheduler. Okay, you always want to have your meeting reminders done through the scheduler itself so that it takes care of any cancellations or reschedules. Okay, so you can see uh, in my email templates, they're organized in the same way, but you want to create these email templates before you go to create the forms, because like here is the email that I send out or that's in the automation for the strategy questionnaire. Okay, here is the one if I need to submit the content. Okay, alrighty. So hope this has helped a little bit about how to create forms, how to use forms, and a couple of things to be aware of. So if you have any questions, drop them below. Make sure you check the description for the other few videos I'm going to share with you down below. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Have a good old Moxie day.